one thing most people are excited to hear us talk about is The Last of Us. And thankfully, because of the Super Bowl, episode 5 dropped 2 days ago or 3 days ago from Monday on Friday. So we were able to watch it before this episode.
We're not behind for the first time.
Yeah, usually we're like a week behind just because of our release schedule and whenever The Last of Us drops. So shout out to the Super Bowl. So we're able to review episodes 4 and 5. Seth, I'm always going to start with you when it comes to The Last of Us because you played the game. You have that connection to the game, and I love hearing the opinion of someone who, has something to compare it to. Like, I love to see. I know a lot of people who have played the game are saying that the show sucks. I know a lot of people that play the game are saying that the show is incredible. How did you like episodes 4 and 5? I saw you tweeting out, and you also texted us about episode 5 yesterday after you watched it. The heartbreaker of an episode. What are your thoughts on the last 2 episodes?
So, I'll start with episode 4. Probably easy that way. Episode 4 was probably my least favorite of the season so far, but I'd still give it like a solid, 8.5 out of 10. I think it served a purpose. I think it introduced us. I think it set up kind of the start of Ellie and Joel's relationship on their own kind of thing, where Joel was kind of opening up a little bit more. I think there was good moments and there was a good introduction into the collaborators, into Kathleen, who's a really interesting character to see. And what I said about The Last of Us as well, the TV show, is what they're doing so well is they're sticking to the game in regards to the meticulous details. Like the shops they're in, the small tiny details of the story, but they're also not afraid to expand on it and actually add more in for the for just better viewing experience. Because let's be honest, a show is a show, a game is a game. They're managed to put 2 and 2 together and add things to it whilst being simultaneously great. Episode 4. There was like the quite an exhilarating scene with the shootout, whatever, which was good. We obviously got the end was the introduction of Sam and Henry. We didn't get too much in terms of the infected and stuff like that. But I think with an episode like that, I think it was quite a short one, wasn't it? Like 45 minutes.
Yeah, that was the shortest.
I think it did what it needs to do. A lot of people call it kind of a filler episode, but then I guess that is what it was. But that is what most of the TV is just filling out space, filling out gaps, and I think that's important in terms of building a relationship over time as well. And just the introduction, and then we also obviously with episode 5, we got the motives for Kathleen going after Henry and Sam. We got an introduction to Henry and Sam. They chose to make Henry, Sam. Which one's which? I always get confused.
Henry's the old one. Sam's the young one.
So yeah. So Sam, brother, sorry, not son. Sam is like deaf, has leukemia, and also fucking like destroyed me. There was a lot that was expanded on that in the game. So in the game, he's not deaf, for example.
Did you sorry to cut you off. Did you guys so at the end of the episode there's like a 5-10 minute little behind the scenes snippet? Did you guys watch that at all?
No, I don't.
It's pretty interesting. They were just talking about it, like the director and probably showrunners. I don't know exactly who, I can't remember, but they were like, one person was just like, what if we just made Sam deaf? And then that's another connect. But the real point was, it was like another connection between him and Henry is that like they've grown to communicate in this way that they learned ASL in order to communicate and things like that. So it was like just another way to communicate, but it was like, why? Well, let's just break their heart even more. Yeah. Let's make Sam deaf.
Add some leukemia in there as well.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know if that was a part of the game. They didn't.
I don't think. I'm pretty sure it wasn't, if I'm honest. Okay. But yeah, episode 5, we obviously had the moment with Ellie and Sam as well, which were really nice when they were kind of bonding, which is in the game. A lot of it was. We did miss a few parts when they're kind of when they go down into the building and they go down, whatever. There's a few zombie encounters there which we kind of missed out, but then again, I think the fucking bloater scene in this one was so good. I got so excited when they all come running out, and that is exactly how it is in the game as well. And you kind of hear the music switch up. He looks over, and then this fucking huge bloater comes out, starts like throwing people around. It was so exciting. And then the ending was fantastic. Like, I think the biggest credit I can give to this show is I know exactly what's going to happen every time. They don't. Whilst I said they aren't scared to stray away from the story for the better, they're still sticking to what the story is built on, which is relationships, just connection, especially with in an hour episode, I think it was maybe like 55 minutes. We had a connection to these characters, Sam and Henry, already, which is an accomplishment in itself. And then even though I knew watching it what was going to fucking happen, it still managed to just break me at the end. and just destroy him. And I think it's just yeah, I think that was my episode 5 was my favorite yet. I think it was just a phenomenal episode of television, and that me saying it's my favorite yet doesn't really mean much anyway, because I think they've all been really good. I'm really just impressed with it all. But yeah, I think episode 5 my favorite episode. Yeah, it had some of my best moments. It had some phenomenal character building, relationship building, and yeah, like I say, it's just been a really really good gaming adaptation so far that I think majority of people are really impressed with, and I do believe that's sitting at like a 9.7 episode on IMDb.
Yeah,
However, we don't know what episode 3 would be realistically without the people just being like,
it would be a 9.9 with
you'd expect so, wouldn't you?
That's everyone calling episode 4 a filler. I think they're forgetting, and correct me if I'm wrong, Seth, obviously, because you played the game, but this isn't The Walking Dead where this zombie outbreak and they're dealing with it like immediately. This is 20 years after this shit came out, so they've learned to how to avoid these zombies. Like, I think the whole point of it is just how good humans have been accustomed to avoiding zombies. So that's why I don't like freak out when we go a couple episodes without seeing one. But also, as much as a lot of people are calling episode 4 a filler episode, there are some incredible character moments between Joel and Ellie in that episode that I think should not be overlooked, because that is such a fine detail in character development. The fact that at the beginning of the episode, and we're going to talk minor spoilers, I guess. So if you haven't seen the episodes, just maybe skip ahead like 10, 15 minutes.
Spoilers. Go full spoilers.
Yeah, we'll go full spoilers.
There's a lot to talk about.
But episode 4, Ellie basically, at the beginning of episode 4, Ellie basically asks Joel, "What am I?" And he says, "Your cargo." And then middle of the episode, when they're in that little shootout thing, they have this really nice moment of like Joel trying to reassure Ellie, "You're going to be okay. You're not going to get hit. Do as I say and you'll be fine." And at the end of the episode, they're sharing a really heartfelt laugh on the greatest dad joke I've ever heard. So it's little like fine character development details like that I think shouldn't get overlooked. And I think a lot of people are. And I think the biggest reason for disappointment is people are just expecting every episode to be
like
an episode 5, like the end of episode 5. So I really enjoyed episode 4. It is on my ranking of all 5 episodes, it is last, but that's absolutely not a knock considering how much I'm loving this show. And then episode 5 was absolutely twisted. They didn't need to do that to me. Fuck that show. I actually went home for the weekend, so I watched it with my mom and dad, and me and my mom were just sitting there basically crying at the ending. Obviously neither of us have played the game, so we didn't see it coming. But even before that scene where the truck falls into the sinkhole and the camera like slowly moves closer to it.
Good.
They all pile out. That was incredible. I tweeted that episode kind of reminded me of Game of Thrones Hard Home. The scene, it's when they first encounter the Night King on like that, when they go to see the season 5.
No, yeah, you stopped at 4, didn't you, Seth?
No, I did see season 4. Oh wait, I think I do. Yeah, I remember.
It was when and then all of the walkers, the White Walkers, just
come out.
Yeah.
It's the meme you always see where like they're leaving and then and the Ice King or Night King, sorry, is like raising everyone from the dead and just watching them leave. You'll see that meme all the time.
It had like that effect on me where these things just came out of nowhere, and then Seth touched on the bloater, which was demonic. This man grabbed this other guy's head and just ripped it off.
That was so cool.
His first kill, he literally just backhanded someone 20 feet into a car. I was like, yo, I've never played the game, and so don't even answer this, Seth, because I don't want to know. But if there's a scene where like Joel has to go up against this bloater, I'm gonna lose my shit, because he'd get clapped. And I know there's gonna be a way where they make it that they beat the bloater, but I'm patiently waiting for a scene where like Joel has to do something against the bloater. And then obviously the end of episode 5 was just the most devastating thing in the world. Once Ellie and Sam shared a lot of great character moments, because their two children on the run who know nothing but this world. So to finally have someone, of their age that they can, relate to and just have fun with and just forget about what's going on outside. That was really sweet. And that whole final conversation that they had, where they were talking about being scared and all of that. Once Sam wrote on his pad, is it still you inside if you get bit? I was like, fuck. I was like, tell me this kid didn't fucking get bit. Because I was slightly expecting it. All week, people are like, you're not ready for Henry and Sam. You're not ready for this emotion. I'm like, what the fuck could you guys possibly be talking about? And obviously then that ending took place. And just the second Henry shot Sam, you just saw this kid die inside Henry. And I didn't expect him to kill himself. So that took me by surprise. And that really hurt. I cried. Fuck this show.
If you weren't like a TikTok or whatever, and you hadn't had people say, "Oh, this is going to be really sad," whatever. Because when I was watching with Anna, she thought they'd be like mainstay characters. Would you have thought that?
I thought the same about Bill and Frank.
Yeah.
I've said in my TikTok review, like this show does such a good job at building up side characters pretty much for one episode. It took them 45 minutes to make me fall in love with these two characters, both Henry and Sam and Bill and Frank, and then they just rip them from you. But also, Seth, correct? I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of people said that Bill did have more of a role in the game.
Yeah,
apparently
he did.
There was like a school or a supermarket scene.
There was a school bloater scene where they go up against like a group of zombies in bloater. That was one of the main issues people had with season 3. That wasn't there, kind of thing.
Okay,
so Frank was.
Okay, yeah. All right. Cam, any closing remarks before we wrap this up?
You guys you touched on it all, so I don't need to go into it. Episode 4 is my least favorite, but like we said, it's like an 8.5 out of 10 or something like that. It's incredible. Episode 5 is now my favorite. And it's for the reasons you both all said. It's got great action as well as great character moments, and I think this show really understands that, hey, we're going to get a whole season with Ellie and Joel. So each individual episode is going to have them, but it will also have other characters who you're going to care about even fucking more. And then we're going to rip your heart out. I said this is, in my review of it, I said this each episode is a season of Stranger Things, where they give you a side character, they make you care about them, they kill them. But this does like so much better of a job at making you care about these characters in the 45 minutes versus a season of Stranger Things. Just because of the writing is so sharp, and it gives you those moments between Ellie and Sam, about being like Ellie said, being scared like she's going to be left alone. And then Sam, obviously, being scared that he's not going to be him if he's, a zombie. And fucking hell, man. I told Emma after this episode, I was like, all right, so now I'm just going to spend the rest of my life never being attached to Bailey. And then just in case there's ever a zombie apocalypse, because if I had to kill Bailey, and I've only known my son for 6 months, I understand it's a brother thing in this show, but it is like that father-son bond. If I had to shoot Bailey, I'd probably shoot myself. Like, I'm just being.
Why are you thinking of that?
Jesus Christ,
dude!
Have kids, man. Have a kid. It'll break your heart, man.
If you had to, you just.
I'm being honest with you. I'm being honest with you. I said that in my review. Yeah, I'd probably shoot myself if I had to kill my son. Dude, you watched it on screen. How am I the bad guy here? I'm just being honest with you. Have a kid. It fucking hurts, man. And,
I believe you. I just didn't.
And this episode just absolutely broke me, and I was very sad afterwards. And I'm not saying like you wouldn't be sad if you don't have a kid. I'm just saying like this destroyed me. That's really all I have to say. I'm not going to touch on everything you guys mentioned, but.
On your note, what you said,
it's a fucking good show, man.
The most impressive thing is in every episode, it is like there's so much that happens. In the last episode, it was 57 minutes, and how much happened in that 57 minutes, and the fact that it doesn't come across as like bloated or bloater, you get it? That was funny, bloated or messy or anything like that is so impressive, because we see shows and films do this all the time when they try and cram so much into a small time zone, and it just Cause like I've got so much going on in my head right now, I can't really process everything. But you end the episode and you're just like, okay, that was amazing, even though everything fucking happened. Tyler, can you watch it, please? Because I think you'd really enjoy it.
Yeah,
I think
we spoil everything. For
we are spoiling everything.
I'm good at tuning you guys out. So
I got sent a really and we'll wrap it up shortly, but I got sent a really sad TikTok from my friend Sam, who it was basically the clip of Joel watching Jesus Christ, Ellie and Sam play soccer. And it was like a TikTok edit that basically says like, this hurt Joel more than ever because his daughter was a soccer player. Or something. So it was backed by like sad music. The TikTok edit makes it seem way sadder than me just explaining it. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's like small details like that. Like if it was meant to be included, no, you're good. But like if it was meant to be included, if that was like the idea of like Joel's like expression during that scene, then that's just incredible detail.
There's also that like super small detail, and I know Seth has seen this because he liked the tweet that I'm going to talk about, but like the Super Sam like drawing of the mask on Sam's face, and then the cinematography of Henry looking out the window, and there's like a red stripe from like a reflection going across his face.
I didn't even know
Fuck you, writers of this show, you assholes.
Honestly, fuck this show.
Yeah, like God, this thing sucks, man.
All right, let's move on. That's our review of episodes 4 and 5, and of course, episode 6 drops next Sunday. Unfortunately,
wait, ages.
Yeah, it seems like ages since until we're getting the next episode. So, episode 25, we'll have our episode 6 review. Unfortunately, right?
Ooh.
Yeah, episode 25. So we won't be talking about The Last of Us for a while, unless we all just decide to get on a real quick, maybe.